This is a Headgum original.
I've never done an STD test. I cut my teeth on random names from the TV. And I'm not proud of my first time. Was it so messed up? If I were you, I'd tell us. And everybody's like girlfriends, boyfriends, girlfriends of their best friend, pet sex parents, Tinder schools they send them in. And Jake and Amir just bully them. A lot of people aren't loyal. So many questions about cheating. Just 'cause Amir is a new man doesn't mean you go and fuck your girlfriend's mum. Seriously.
Why would you, why?
If I were you.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that at all.
Whoa, lo-fi.
Lord.
That was not Lord.
Writing in. Really?
It was
Really?
Geordie McGrath from Bris Vegas, Australia.
Bris Vegas. Good stuff.
God.
Good on you, mate.
I feel like we haven't
Cheerio,
been to Brisbane in
Johnny.
a while, right? How long has it been?
Yeah, geez. I feel like we went there in 2016, and that was it.
I don't know if I've
Or
been
was it
back.
17?
Yeah.
It might have been 17, huh?
I'm trying to remember if I went back there or not. I don't think I did.
You definitely didn't go back. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I just realized I might have been even earlier. 2014, we were in Bris Vegas. Because we went
Really?
back in 2016 or 2017, but we didn't go to Brisbane.
Wow, I actually fully do not remember going to Australia twice. You're saying we went to Australia twice?
You don't remember that we went back to Australia?
No, I thought we've only done one tour with Streeter.
We did 2 tours with Streeter.
And the first time we did 5 shows. That's the trip I remember.
Yeah, the first time we did Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, then Perth.
Yeah.
And then we went home. Okay. That's what you remember.
That's the one I remember. What happened in the second one?
The second one, I believe we only did 2 shows. I think we only did Melbourne and Sydney, and then we were going to go to Byron Bay, but it was really rainy, so we went to Queenstown, New Zealand, which is another place we've been to twice, and I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember going with Mitzi doing the world's largest swing.
Yeah, and you don't remember going to Queenstown, New Zealand with Streeter Seidel.
Yeah, I guess we did go there twice. In like my mind, it's all one epic trip.
Yeah, no.
So maybe I have been to Brisbane twice.
No, I'm telling you, you've only been there once. Because we only went there once. But we've been to Australia twice.
That's really cool.
What's your problem? What's your problem, man?
I don't have a problem. You're just...
You have some kind of degenerative cognitive disease, I think. I think you
have cog fog.
Alzheimer's. You do have cog fog. This is a real issue. You don't remember 2 weeks of your life in a foreign country. That's
Well,
absurd.
I do remember because
It's
it all
obscene.
just like...
We
it
did a show
melded
for 800
together.
people.
Yeah, I remember that, of course.
No, you don't remember that, of course. You remembered it one time, of course. And the second time, you can't recall.
Yeah, and both times we just did a podcast in the same venue.
It was a different venue. One time was the rock venue. The other time was the old theater.
And then in Melbourne, same venue or different?
No, it was 2 different venues in Melbourne. Sydney, we did the same venue both times. It was the
Metro.
The Metro.
Yeah. How did we do? How was the second show?
It wasn't as major as our first one. The first time was like lightning in a bottle. We were touring with the Free Shit Men. We had Shrimpy. Vanessa was there. You were single. We were meeting up with people. We were partying. The second time, it was just me, you, and Streeter. More of a business excursion. No Shrimpy. No Free Shit Men.
No Shrimpy.
No shrimpy, man.
No shellfish
And
that trip.
we did 2 shows. I don't even know if we sold out the Metro the second time. I think we sold it out the first time and maybe the second time too, but it took longer or something. And both good shows. We didn't get as trashed though. We didn't party as hard. And then we went and had a relaxing time in Queenstown.
We didn't do the shoeies.
Right. We didn't do the shoeies the second. Actually, I think I might have done the shoey the second time as well.
Really?
Hold on 1 second, because I'm going to pull up. Oh yeah, I did the shoey the second time.
Really?
This.
Okay, we have a video. How'd you find that so quickly?
Not
That's
a-
the second time?
Yeah, that's the second time. Do you see the date here? I'm holding it up to the screen.
Yeah. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see Jake recording on his Zoom.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
What is
So
the
that's
date?
March
2017.
17th, 2017. That's right.
And the time we went before that was like 2 or 3 years earlier.
Yeah, the Anatheum Theater in Melbourne.
Damn. Well, thank you so much for coming to those memorable shows. I'll never forget those shows as long as I live.
You're a dick.
It's funny because you actually blacked out at the first Sydney show, so you're the one who shouldn't remember both shows.
I don't remember the second half of the Sydney show.
Yeah.
After I think everybody made me chug a whiskey. They sang that
Yeah.
song. I chugged a whiskey and then I kicked the bottle into the audience. And I don't know what happened the second half of the show or the second half of the night. I believe I took Molly in Sydney.
And then I took Sydney and Molly, which is what I call Melbourne.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a time. What a time that was.
All right, we got some lightning round questions for this episode. We're trying to speed through as many quick hits as humanly possible. This is If I Were You, the only advice pod
That's
on the
correct.
web, hosted still by us.
That's correct. That's right.
I was thinking when we retire, we can just give the show to someone so the show lives on, but different hosts.
Right. And it'll be the only advice podcast on the internet hosted by us. And that theme still works.
Yeah, exactly.
That intro is perfect.
Okay. Here we go. First question. If you could choose 2 people, writes Maddie Eat World, to cover your show for a month, who would you choose?
Oh.
That's a good way to
Wow.
dip our toes in that water. So it's a semi-retirement. We can sort of see how it does. And if the ratings are even better, we can start transitioning completely away.
It's interesting. I guess, who are the people I trust to do it? Let's go ahead and say Gabrus and Betsy Sidaro.
Really? So 2 very funny friends of ours hosting our show for us for a month, at least.
Yeah, great improvisers. They're the same age as us roughly, so I feel like that kind of like, the show won't get too young. It won't start to alienate the fans that have been around for a long time.
All right. I'll go Jeff and Riley because they are younger. They have more of a pulse of like what a 25 to 30-year-old is up to, which is our ages-ish when we started the show.
Right. Let me counter that, and I'm going to poke a hole basically because there's something wrong with mine as well, which is just that Jeff and Riley already have a podcast.
Sure.
Betsy and Gabrus at least don't already have an existing podcast. You can't really get their dynamic unless they're guesting on each other's shows.
That's true.
But at the same time, I think it'd be more
By the
interesting
same
to
token.
bring new people in.
Mm-hmm.
Bring 2 people that don't have a podcast at all. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Really?
Also 2
I
best
guess if we
friends,
can literally
OG.
choose anybody, yeah. And then they can have famous people on the show. Like J-Lo could do a fucking theme song.
What if we even just did because I feel like people pay attention to whatever fucking Elon Musk says and does. So we go
Musk and
Musk and
Gabrus?
Bezos. I would also do Musk
Bezos.
and Gabrus because that's funny. But I feel like
Would they do their
or
own ad read if they're
Bezos-
billionaires?
There's a world where Bezos and Sidaro could do it. Because
that's
that would
cool.
be fun.
Betsy
Yeah.
Bezos.
Betsy Bezos. I love that for us, for our
And then-
podcast.
They probably wouldn't need to do the Patreon either because one of them's nearly a trillionaire.
I didn't realize Betsy had that much money.
No, Bezos.
That's nuts. Oh, Jeff.
Yeah. Jeffrey James Bezos.
Jeffrey James Bezos has billions.
What is Full Incense asks, what is the subject of the worst argument / biggest fight you have ever had with each other?
Ooh. I don't know. Can you think of our biggest fight?
Well, there was the time where you pantsed me and I punched you back a lot in the street.
Yeah.
That
Do you
was
think
a
that was a
pretty
big argument,
one.
though?
It wasn't an argument, but it was a very physical moment where I snapped. I
Yeah.
lost my cool and I lost my schmool.
Kicked my ass.
I killed you. I completely
You
pulverized
beat the shit out
you.
of me and left me for dead in West Hollywood. Oh, man.
That was
You
good.
tried to curb stomp me.
Marty pulled your head away at the last second.
I guess that was like the most heated it ever got between us.
Yeah. As
I
for
don't-
specific fighting, I don't remember an argument.
Yeah.
There's got to be something. A disagreement.
Yeah. The only things I can think of though were like, I guess maybe I feel like I just remember a situation where like we were mad at College Humor, but I was more mad than you. And I feel like that's where like that's what the subject is. Where like sometimes like say when they do you remember when they fired us and wanted to half our salaries?
Uh-huh. That sounds familiar.
And I was like, fuck this, I want to quit. Like, let's quit. And I wanted you to like stand up for us with me, join me in this big fuck you. But you were rational and you were like, they give us health insurance.
Yeah,
So
plus
even
half
less
our
money-
salary. That's better than
Yeah.
0 of each.
Right. So we'll do a little less work. And then I feel like we ended up meeting somewhere in the middle. But at the same time, that was probably like the most heat. It wasn't even like we were directly mad at each other, but just like a contentious situation where we had a disagreement.
Yeah. A moment. We need to
Yeah.
do like Amazing Race style stressful situations. That way we can get into more arguments with one another.
Yeah. I wonder if we would ever get into arguments though if we were in stressful situations, or if we would just, I feel like we would both just give up. Us arguing is just like the breakdown and nothing happens. We're like, I'm not going to deal with this.
Right. We're not hard-headed. We're two soft-headed people.
Yeah, we're both conflict averse and we don't like drama. So if it seems like it's heading in that direction, I feel like both of us are just like, let's bail.
Have you gotten into a situation like that with other people?
Like yelling and drama.
Yeah.
The most I get is just like feeling like I need to be very direct in an email or something. I feel like it got that way with like contractors at my house.
Yeah.
And
A very stern tone. Here it comes.
yeah, just like aloof. This needs
You're not
to
going to
happen.
like me when I'm glib.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm setting a deadline.
Yeah.
How's
It's
that?
It's like the Hulk, but instead of going crazy, you're just sort of terse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And me being angry is everyone else's
Yeah.
normal. Because usually I'm effusive and very, very polite. So
Yeah.
like I'm just, oh wow, I'm not gonna use an exclamation point and I'm not gonna have a friendly greeting. How's that?
Yeah. You wouldn't like me when I'm sort of short with you. So instead of the Incredible Hulk, you're just the Incredible Sulk, and you get kind of sad at a person.
Ooh, the Incredible Sulk is good.
Yeah, you get
That's
kind of
really good.
small. Do you ever play the video game Rampage, where you're like Godzilla or King Kong, and you're like eating buildings and punching down, or eating people and punching down buildings?
I feel like I've seen people play that game.
Yeah, well, after you die, you turn into a person. So like you go from Godzilla to a little man, and that's sort of you when you get angry.
Oh,
You just sort
yeah.
of shrink.
shrivel.
That's your incredible
Yeah.
sulk moment.
The incredible sulk.
Here's a quickie.
Yeah.
Rachel Plan asks, what app does Jake use to edit his Instagram posts? I need to know.
I'm a Visco girl. I pay. I think it's $19 a year. Maybe
$90
even up
a
to
day.
29. But yeah, I like the Visco filters. Those are my shit. I'm usually in the Vibrant folder, the C3, the C7, sometimes the C1.
Interesting.
Those are my presets.
I
What do
use
you use?
Afterlight, and I don't have a hydro flask.
Yeah. Afterlight is the poor man's in-phone editing app. It's no Visco. It's really no Visco. It doesn't have to crop.
Afterlight.
Visco also has like a remove button, which is really nice for unsightly things in your photos. You know, if I like a vista, but then somebody's walking in the background, I can actually remove a person with
Really?
a tap of the finger. Yeah.
How does it know to remove that? What does it replace it with?
It replaces it with kind of like an amalgamation of things that are. It's almost like the
Near it.
blur tool on Instagram, yeah, or on Photoshop, yeah.
Wow. Have you done that? Have you used that before?
Yes, I have, and I'm not going to tell you on which photos because then you
Interesting.
might notice. Yeah,
Did you use it to remove your dick? Because I see on a lot of these photos you have a little mangina. I'm serious. In this one from
fucking nice.
Italy.
Oh, that's really.
You must have accidentally
That's really
Visco
mature.
deleted your cock.
Oh, that's really much. I have a fucking hog. I have a tank. Okay, I have a fucking Pringles can of a cock, and you have nothing under the tank. You have nothing under the hood. All right, bro. I'll whip my cock out right now and show you how
No,
fucking.
Don't do that.
Oh shit! You see this bottom of the screen right there?
Yeah, that is a Pringle. That's how you brought it up. I have a Pringle can and you have a single Pringle. You have a mustache, man. It's your pinky, I can see. Good stuff for those watching. Shout out to you guys watching.
Yeah.
this.
Shout out to the YouTube.
The YouTube crew tube. All right, let's take a break, thank some sponsors, and come back with more questions and answers after this. And we have returned.
Yes. Yes.
Any good ones in your Twitter feed?
I've got one. Step
Okay.
Ladder. Step Ladder writes, "Goat age to get married."
Wow. Goat age?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Mid 30s, late 30s?
Yeah, I think it's early 30s to be honest.
Oh, really?
I got married at 33, but I think the goat age might be 32, but it also could be 34. And I'll tell you why. I think
Okay.
your 20s, it's nice to have relationships that fail. So you're
Sampler
learning.
platters.
Exactly. So are you getting a fucking call right now?
Yeah, I got a potential spam, if you can believe it.
I'd really appreciate a little respect
From
when I'm
me?
talking
or...
about the goat age to get married.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Also, you could have breezed by it.
I'd like to see you do the same courtesy for me as I do for you. Don't sip your coffee. Don't sip your coffee. It's done. It's
No
done.
way.
You're getting the dregs of the coffee. There's nothing but melted ice down there. Why don't you pay attention to me?
There's a
Because you're
little.
hearing something you don't want to hear. You're
Look at
hearing
that
something
tan.
you don't want to hear. And you decide that you're going to distract yourself with the taste of sweet cream. So this
Yeah.
doesn't sting as much as it should. So you don't learn your
this is
damn
actually
lesson.
Oatly. So it's more of an oat-based creamer.
Sorry. I didn't realize it was Oatly.
It's okay. Recall happening, so I'm sort of taking a risk.
Very interesting.
Anyway, the goat age to get married is the exact age you were saying.
No, I wasn't. I said 32 or 34. You obviously don't listen. You obviously don't care. And you obviously don't know, you don't want to know why the goat age is 32.
Okay, why?
I was just sort of...
No reason. I'm just spitballing here. You said 32 or 34.
I think relationships are supposed to fail in your 20s. And I know some people stay together through those learning moments, but I do think that like you're learning relationships in your 20s. And I think that 30s is where you start to come into your own a little bit.
You become the final version of yourself.
Yeah. But then if you're single in your 30s, I don't think I would like rush to get married, because I do think that there's something to feeling more sure of yourself and confident in who you are while still being single.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I think 30s is a nice time to settle down, because you're mostly hanging out with fully formed adults.
At that point, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. It's not all the time, not every time.
Here's a question.
Wait, what do you think the goat age to get married is?
Oh, I would say mid to late 30s. So you're still experiencing your 30s a little bit before tying the knot.
Yeah. So you're 39 and you're not married.
That's right. I have 4 months to elope.
That's amazing. To abscond with Avital to Aruba. Aye.
Come back as a couple for once.
Amazing.
QWERTY asks, let's talk money. Doesn't Amir have an econ degree? I don't. What's your percent of net worth in cash versus the market? What's Amir's lifetime betting losses and winnings? What's Jeff's salary? And do you have any other financial advice?
Wow.
Relationship advice is so 2015. Now all we want to hear about is cash. That's his tweet.
That's fascinating. I like that. I feel like I'm smarter at relationships than I am about cash, though I have invested wisely, mostly by accident or at Jill's behest.
Oh, interesting.
Like I bought my house in LA early for me. Like I don't know if I would have like just bought a house then, but
right.
Jill was like, "Oh, you should buy a house. You have this money. You should buy a house." And then I did, and it ended up being a really good thing that I did. So
real estate has gone up.
Yeah. I don't know if that's my advice, because that's not my advice. That's just basically me admitting that I'm not qualified to give it. But I will say something I learned early on, Freudian slip, very nice, is to diversify. So having as many little streams of income so you're not super reliant on one, or putting your money in lots of different places so if something goes awry, you aren't completely ruined. So
that's right.
If you can afford stocks, real estate, some little things here and there, whatever. Even if you're putting all of your money in the stock market, just not buying all one stock, that's obvious, or it should be.
Right, because then if that one goes down, your whole net worth goes down.
Exactly. What's your financial advice?
Some people have told me that in your 20s and like even early in your 30s that you should like almost have all of your money in investments, like only have like 5% of everything you own, like just in cash in a checking account. Everything else should be fluctuating up and down with the market.
That's interesting. I mean, I don't think I didn't have any money until I was 27 or 28. I was living
paycheck
hand
to paycheck.
Mouth. Yeah.
But as soon as you have savings, you should be, I guess,
put it
investing that
right.
money.
Nothing you're saving should be sitting in a savings account. It should be in the market.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually think the first person that gave me stock tips was you.
Me?
I believe when I first signed up for Schwab.
Yeah.
I think I did it with you, and I just bought all the same stocks that you had.
Oh, interesting. I remember also learning early on that like there are no stock experts, that like people who get paid to become like money managers are just like just as randomly good or bad as like just having a mouse pick the stock. So you should just buy big companies that you happen to believe in, like Nike or Netflix or whatever.
Right. I did, and that is what I did, and all of those went up over time. And I also feel like Warren Buffett has said that like nothing is smarter than just investing in like the S&P 500 if you're putting your money into the stock market.
Yeah, just like smatter it across 500 large companies that eventually will go up over time.
Right. And it might go down, but you're not touching that money because you're young.
Exactly. You want to only invest what you're willing to like not touch for a while, not money that you need to like double in a year or two.
Exactly.
Do you see this one where it's, what do you call these, finger sandwiches or party sandwiches? And they're like very neatly cut egg salad sandwiches.
No.
But you know those sandwiches that are like almost like Kit Kat size? They're so like tall and thin. They're like sliced crustless, and they sometimes have egg salads, and they're like on a platter at a party. Do you call those finger sandwiches or party sandwiches?
Oh, I guess I'd probably call them finger sandwiches.
Yeah, me too. I've never heard,
because to me a party sandwich is like that's like a 6-foot sub.
Right.
I feel like those things are like British, like high tea shit.
Yeah.
And like I've never had anything called a finger sandwich, but if I saw that, I've also never had that. So I'd be like, that looks like a finger sandwich. Party sandwich, that's a 6-foot hoagie.
It's low key high tea. The ones in
Here's
this
an
photo
interesting one.
look like half egg
sorry.
salad, half tuna. So it's got like, it's a double decker. So that seems exceptionally British or Canadian even.
Yeah. French Canada, probably.
What were you saying?
Okay. This is a good one, I think. Ryan Curtis asks, is there a world where Headgum buys College Humor?
Whoa. I don't think so.
Amazing.
Yeah. Because
Do you
we're
think we
sort of in the...
could?
Well, Sam runs College Humor now, so we'd have to make a deal with Sam Reich. So that would be kind of fun. But we don't need video content. We need podcasting content.
Well, actually, all of our podcasts are moving to video, so we do need video content.
That's cool.
All right, cool. Well, I'm on it. Okay, Amir obviously doesn't give a shit. 2 Snake 4 Legs asks, you're going back in time to blow history's mind with modern music, but you can only bring 3 albums. What do you take?
Weezer's Blue Album. Live Throwing Copper.
Okay.
And Blues Traveler 4 is the name of the album. Those are the first 3 albums I bought. And I'm going to blow history's mind with, our love is like water, beaten down and abused for being strange.
Immediately burned at the stake for being a witch.
I should have brought the Beatles.
That would be
I
a funny
should have
sketch.
brought the
like,
Beatles.
you travel back in time and you're trying to show them music and inventions, and then they just find out that you had a time machine and you're burned for being a witch.
See, you're already thinking like a College Humor owner.
That's true.
It's working. What are your
Enema
3
of
albums?
the State, Dude Ranch, and Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. All Blink, because I feel like I want to be consistent as an artist. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't need any other albums because I know every Beatles song. So I feel like I can just hum, "They Dude, don't
Hey,
make me
Jude.
bad.
Don't make it
Take
bad.
your dad's thong
Take a sad
and
song.
make it better."
Bring it, because you don't know the words. Your
What?
throat is closing at the thought of singing.
I'm nervous
that.
to sing live. I'm more of a songwriter than a song singer.
Oh yeah, how is your punk band going? How is Fate on Shuffle doing?
Great. We're mastering our second single right now. It'll actually probably be dropping next week.
So it could be out by the time this episode drops.
It very well will be. Though I like to try to coordinate the drops of the episode with us promoting it on pod. But who cares? You know, maybe we'll just drop it. Maybe we'll just drop it. Why not?
What's
Beyonce
this one called?
Style. It's either called All Year or called Down and Out. Or it might be called All Year parentheses Down and Out. It's about being afraid to smoke. It's your idea. You should be really happy. You should be really happy.
This song is my idea, or the band is?
The song. Didn't you write one? Didn't you say that we should write one about being afraid to smoke weed?
No, I thought mine was Wet Dreams, Dry Days.
Well, that's the one where you came up with the actual lyric. You also told me to write one about being afraid of smoking weed, which I then did.
A guy's nervous to try weed, or like you don't know where to smoke it because you're in high school?
Nervous to try it.
That's funny. A song called Nervous to Try It.
Nervous to try it. That lyric is not in there, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, there's never really a song about being nervous or apprehensive or stressed out, is there?
24 hours ago, I want to be sedated.
Yeah.
That one's kind of about having a breakdown.
He's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs.
Right,
But
yeah.
he keeps on forgetting.
Right?
Yeah.
That song is about puking. You're so nervous.
Yeah. He literally has his mother's spaghetti all over his fucking favorite sweater, which he shouldn't
Vomit
have
on
worn
his
to
sweater.
Yeah, he shouldn't have wore that to a rap battle.
Imagine a rap battle where you're just rapping and you're just like covered in puke. Your mother's spaghetti all down the front of your shirt.
It's disgusting.
Marshall, at least take your sweater off and wear just a tee.
He's wearing a fucking cashmere blue sweater to a rap battle. There's no way.
Disgusting.
You just finished a lasagna. Take a beat before heading. You're burning the candle at both ends, rabbit.
Yeah, rabbit. Good stuff. Here's one from Jono. Jono writes, Headgum Formula One podcast when? I'd love to listen to Jake, Marika, and Jeff. Hell, even old Blumenfeld. Wax Motorsport.
Whoa. I don't know anything. I didn't watch the documentary yet.
Well, I think you actually have time now because at the time of recording this episode, it's August 3rd. It's kind of like the mid-season break. Next month, I believe we are going to drop a Formula One podcast for the second half of the season.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Me,
it is
Marika,
happening.
Pyle, Casey.
Pyle's in.
Pyle is in. I think it's going to be like the Headgum podcast, except instead of just like talking about Formula One while Jeff like looks for his notes and which weird game we're going to play, we're actually just going to talk about Formula One because there's a lot of exciting stuff happening on and off the track.
What's exciting happening off the track?
So an old like great GOAT type driver, Sebastian Vettel, just announced his retirement. Then there's another kind of like old GOAT on the team in Formula One, and they announced. So the day or two after Sebastian Vettel announced his retirement, Fernando Alonso announced that he was leaving his team Alpine and going to drive for Aston Martin, where Vettel was driving. Alpine had no idea that he was leaving. And then there's a young Australian driver who like Alpine has kind of been like grooming in their Formula 2 races. They announce that he's coming up and going to take Fernando Alonso's seat. And then Piastri tweets, I don't know what they're talking about. I haven't signed a contract and I will not be driving for Alpine next year. And like, it seems like Alonso waited till the day after Piastri's contract expired to announce this. So basically, it seems like maybe to fuck over Alpine. And then as they're trying to get in touch with him, he was on a yacht in Ibiza or something like that.
So, yeah, that's what you can expect from the pod.
There's a lot of drama.
Only other people will be understanding what he's saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's take a break, come back and answer more lightning round cues after these.
Love it.
And we are back. Here's a question about Jake and Amir episodes.
Okay.
Are all of the episodes that are shot in hotel rooms because you guys needed content when you were away for the holidays, or did you genuinely record some because you wanted the setting of a hotel room?
I think we almost never recorded one out of necessity because we were traveling. I think, yeah, unless it's one that we shot ourselves, it was too much. It would have been too much effort to bring like the whole film crew to a hotel. I think it probably came up because we were traveling together all the time, and we would do bits in hotel rooms and on planes and like in transit. So then we thought that like we'd bring those to life. I do remember there are probably more, like the episode, like I think we wrote one in a hotel room, but the hotel was so expensive that we needed to shoot two there. So the quick cuts of us on a trip that was shot in Lower Manhattan, you're like ordering room service, it's like telling the concierge to put the spaghetti in their ass.
Yeah, shove it up your ass.
And we needed to have a second one. So I think that was when we wrote the lights out, where it's basically in the dark the entire time.
But then there was one where we were in Vegas and we just shot like a random blackjack video in a hotel because we were in a hotel, not hotel specific.
Yeah,
So maybe it's a little bit of both.
We were there covering 2 months, 2 million, but that wasn't like, oh, we're out of town and we need to shoot a video. That was more like, we're in Vegas, so wouldn't it be cool to shoot a video?
Right.
Sometimes that happened where we were like somewhere for a show or somewhere for an event, and then we'd be like, this is a good place for a video.
Right. Kind of related, Asher writes, what do you do to kick writer's block's ass when you're feeling uninspired, but you know you've got to make something?
I think, I don't know. I definitely get writer's block. Usually I pace, I get up and I need to move. I think sitting there waiting for writer's block to clear is something that I can't do. So like if creativity is not coming to me and say I'm at the office, I'll ride my bike home, and sometimes just not staring at whatever I have to do, I'll like something will click as I'm riding.
Or I'll go to the
my bike or
bathroom.
walk.
Yeah, I'll go to the bathroom and be like, I do my best thinking on the toilet. Whether that's true or not, it sort of convinces me that I do have to, at the very least, use the bathroom, get out of the room, and maybe I can think of something there.
Yeah. Yeah. And definitely one thing not to do, and I do this sometimes too, is be like, I need some time away from this idea. You go on a walk and then you start looking at your phone, start doing something else, distracting yourself. I
Never
think you
come
need
back.
a phone-free moment after. Yeah, that's why bike riding is good for me, because I can't use my phone. My brain unlocks.
Monkey5 asks, have you ever gotten out of a ticket because the cop was a fan?
No, definitely not.
I got a speeding ticket in the RV on the way to LA when we were shooting the RV episodes.
Yeah, that was so intense. What did you do to make that guy so mad? I can't remember. He really
think we,
hated you.
Yeah, because we didn't rent the RV or something. So it's like, let me see the paperwork. I'm like, somebody else rented this car, and like that raised the red flag for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very mad.
But we did get the ticket. We didn't talk our way out of it. And the guy was not a fan, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Roman Madeline asks, would you rather get bitten by a shark and live, or struck by lightning and live? What's a cooler story?
I feel like shark, because I feel like people can kind of lie about getting struck by lightning. Shark, you'd have a scar or a missing limb, and that's kind of like yeah. I feel like I've just met people who have gotten struck by lightning and they just seem a little weird, like
You just
it
don't
does something
believe
in your
them.
brain cells. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone that had gotten bitten by a shark, but the beaches were closed out in Rockaway last week because of sharks. And
Wow.
I did
You
surf
still
on
went.
Sunday.
You
when
still
they
went.
were, when they were back open, I did.
You were like,
Because I'm a fucking
I'm not
brave-ass
afraid of
hero.
that shit.
Yeah, I'm not afraid. I did.
then
I
didn't
keep
you
on
get
touching my
stung by-
head because
Yeah.
not. But I got stung by a jellyfish when I was in Italy. I talked about that already, right? I wiped out on my board and it hit me in the head. Like it flew up in the air and landed on my head as I popped
Yeah.
out of the water, and I have like
Yeah.
a scab in the center of my head here.
Oh wow, like blood came out.
I kept on looking at it, and at the moment, blood was not coming out. But later, I like saw that it was almost like a skinned knee or something, just like
Ouch.
a bloody scrape. Yeah,
On
and
your
it's still-
head.
on my head. It feels like there's like an indent and a scab right there, like a full on indent in my head.
Jesus.
Yeah. So sharks aren't the dangerous thing at the beach. You are. That's the lesson there.
You're talking to a boogie boarder.
Trying to give me a parking ticket. Okay. Proto
yeah.
Tom. Another would you rather. Would you rather be killed by an axe murderer or a sledgehammer murderer? Both take 2 hits to finish the job.
I guess axe sounds like more quick and sharp and instant.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I've been knocked on the head, by a surfboard, obviously.
Yeah.
I've been hit with blunt things in the head more, and I know what that feels like, and I wouldn't look forward to it. I wouldn't look forward to getting murdered by the axe either, but at least that would be something new.
At least for one swipe, because by the second one you're dead.
Yeah.
How many games of Settlers of Catan have you won in your lifetime? Asked Reggie Tsunami. Do you
Probably
hear that
4 or
knocking on my
5.
door?
Yeah.
My dog's desperately trying to get in. I feel like I should let him in.
Luke wants to answer this question.
He's legitimately knocking like a human boy.
Go get him. Go let him in.
Sauntering in like he's mad it took him that long. Jesus. Been knocking for like an hour.
When you first got Luke, were you like excited to have a dog, or were you nervous? You were like, I don't know if I really want a dog. I don't really like dogs.
That's right. Didn't want a dog.
And now,
Looking forward to it. Now he's my sort
you
of
think-
boss / uncle / best friend boy. So
yeah.
he's like in charge
Do
of me.
you love him with all your heart?
Yeah, I'm a full on. I'm all in. I'm committed. And he brings me, he's a joy boy is how I call him. So he brings me joy. And he's a boy.
Yeah, that's right. So like when what's the thing that Luke does that makes you the happiest?
Maybe when he lays down next to me and then like lays on his back and he sort of looks me in the eyes in a way that connotes you should rub my belly. And then I obviously do rub his belly. And then he looks very sweet. Take photos of him. Send it to anybody who wants to see a belly picture. Here's one from earlier today. Sort of in a sweater. Happy about it.
Good.
Yeah. Here's one of him looking drunk because he's sort of passed out.
He's very cute.
Yeah. Never played Catan.
No. Yes, you have. Really?
Yeah, never played Catan.
Wow. You'd
When
be
have you
good
played?
at it. I feel like I feel like anytime you go upstate, someone has Catan or there's Catan there. I've played
I see.
with family upstate, with friends upstate.
Are you good? Is it a fun game?
It's a fun game because it's like you can take it really seriously, and it's kind of like a bit for me to be like a hard-nosed negotiator. So when things are going really well, I'm like an evil dictator type of guy, using my leverage to hammer people into the ground. And when things are going bad, I think it's funny too, because I'm just a humble brick farmer. I'm a shepherd. I have sheep and stuff. So yeah, it's one of
Either
those
way, you're
games where
having
it's fun if you're it's fun if you're losing, and it's fun if you're winning.
That's good.
I lean into the role play negotiation aspect of it.
One last question about questions.
Amazing.
Ophilet asks, do you think you've gotten wiser with time answering people's questions?
Wiser in a very narrow field, I think I have gotten wiser. I've gotten a lot of insight into how people view themselves and their significant others in relationships. And I feel like that perspective of being self-aware and looking at the bigger picture and trying to understand other people's points of view has helped me as a moderator in giving like advice to friends and family when they're upset, when they're in arguments, when things aren't going great.
Yeah. I feel like it's the opposite. Like, I think you've gotten worse.
Really? I thought you were going to say like you weren't getting the same thing that I had got, but you're sort of just like, the question
I
was,
disagree
do you feel
with
like
you. I
Yeah.
feel like I have.
Do
yeah.
you feel like you got wiser? And I said yes,
Yeah.
and you said you haven't. I feel like that's not answering the question.
I guess,
but
okay,
like where you're
technically
coming
I've
from.
gotten wiser in comparison.
There you go. Now you answered the question. And that was perfect.
Yeah. You're,
And it was only
you're
through my
basically
mediation and my coaching that you
No, I don't
got
think
to
so.
your
I was
answer.
there already. Yeah.
You are nothing without me. You're nothing without me. You're nothing without me. You're garbage without me. You couldn't do it alone, but I could do it by myself because I'm the only one that matters to the show. That's a golden mic from me. That's a turdy for your ass. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. This is If I Were You. Rate, review, subscribe. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/JA. That opening theme song was whatever. The closing one is going to be the same one on the way out. Fuck, what else?
An axe comes in and slices your head in half.
Find me on Twitter. I'm Joe Rogan Fanboy 69.
Same on TikTok, same on Instagram. Joe Rogan Fanboy 69. Let's see if that's a name. Nope. Still available if anyone wants.
Really? Wow. That's awesome.
All right. Thank you to all who tweeted their Qs for us. We did our best to QA them all.
We sure did.
And yes, like Jake said, there's more of us answering more questions, doing Jake and Amir trivia, watching Jake and Amir videos, all on our Patreon, patreon.com/JA.
Damn right.
And send in those theme songs. We need more theme songs, so now's the chance. And if we've never played yours, maybe nudge it to the top. Maybe let's hear it again.
Just bump that email. Yeah.
Bump up the jam. Bump it up. All right. One last time. From Jordy in Vegas. This is
that's right.
the Lord-based theme song, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I've never done an STD test. I cut my teeth on random names from the TV. And I'm not proud of my first time. Was it so messed up? If I were you, I'd tell us. And everybody's like girlfriends, boyfriends, girlfriends of their best friend, pet sex parents, Tinder schools they send them in. And Jake and Amir just bully them. A lot of people aren't loyal. So many questions about cheating. Just 'cause Amir is a new man doesn't mean you go and fuck your girlfriend's mum. Seriously.
Why would you, why?
If I were you,
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that at all.
That was a Headgum original.